Hello, and welcome back to our course. In this module, we're going to be focusing on a crucial step in any machine learning project, data preprocessing. This is the step where we take raw, real data and we turn it into a format that is suitable for modeling. Starting with, let's observe how does data that we're going to use look like. Here I have a dataset from Kaggle, a dataset for house prices. As we can see on the top, there are a number of columns that describe a certain aspect of a house. Among those, we have square footage, number of bedrooms, year built, and house price. Below the headers, we got the actual data. Each row represents a house with its corresponding data. We're going to be using this dataset to learn how to make linear regression models for house price prediction. Here we are back on the Jupyter application to load up our dataset. Firstly, create a notebook where we will be working on. In order to make use of the dataset, we need to import the pandas library. Now we're going to be using the read CSV function of the library since our file is a CSV one. Then we'll run the cell. Now that the dataset has been loaded, let's view the first few data of it. This is done more often than just opening the CSV file with your other apps since they could be very large. Here you can see the same headers and data that we looked at earlier. The price header will be our final goal and what we're going to try and predict with the other parameters. The step after loading the dataset is cleaning it up and making it usable in the model. To do that, we check the dataset for null, nan, and empty values. Once we are sure that the model has these, we can delete those rows. To check for null values, we use the following function. As you can see, there seems to be only one invalid value in the lot size column. In order to fix this, we will be using the drop na function which removes the bad rows. Now let's rerun the previous function again to check for bad lines. As you can see, the data is now cleaned and ready to be used on machine learning models. Our data could be called as ready now, since we have cleaned it from bad rows and is compatible with our models. That said, there's a step before using it. In real life, we may not have enough data about something we wish to predict. Even if we do, it is a good practice to split the data into training and testing ones. Training data will be used by the model to train for our specific use, and testing data will be used to test the accuracy of our model. Without further ado, let's get started. Usual ratios for splitting the data are 7:3 or 8:2. We're going to use the latter and give 80% of the data to the model to train and 20% to test the accuracy. Before we split the data though, let's define the input features and the target variable. We will create two new data frames for this step. It seems I have written the target incorrectly. Next part is finally the splitting data step. We're going to be using the train test split function from Scikit-learn library to split our data.